A message from 05-1. Congratulations on having been granted security clearance level 4. You should be proud of what you have achieved, and the Foundation is grateful for your service. If you wish, you can consider access to this file as a kind of reward. Perhaps your level 4 colleagues have encouraged you to read it, or perhaps you've been led here by your own curiosity. I know that looking for SCP-001 was the first thing I did when my clearance was upgraded. You will have realized already that SCP-001 is not like most other files. I think of it as a collection of mementos, a way to remember the Foundation's history. So where better to start than at the beginning, with the first index card placed in the Foundation's filing system. SCP-001, psul's proposal, Object Class Keter. Date, 24th of February, 1919. SCP-001 is the phenomena that causes living organisms and or their individual cells to cease functioning over time or from the operation of extrinsic forces, leading to the death of the organism. The cause of this eventuality is incompletely understood, cannot be other than anomalous. Research procedures. Our research is to concentrate on evolutionary theory, cell death, and known exceptions to the Gompertz-Makeham law. Our resources are to be applied to the research of SCP-001 as a priority, with related projects given secondary priority. For full details of the current state of research, please request folders 001A through 001M from the library. The man who wrote the original version of this card was the first 05-1. I am his current successor, the fifth 051 of the Foundation. That may surprise you, but with your new clearance you are entitled to certain truths, even the difficult ones. The 05 counts are not immortal. Our histories and identities are obscured from most Foundation personnel, but we are individuals serving our term. And we make individual choices. The first 05-1 chose this phenomenon as the cornerstone of our organization. He died before his choice could be explained, so I do not know for certain his reasons, but I can understand his choice, because I first read the index card in the year my father died. He was young, early 50s, and liver cancer is ugly. I saw him slowly eaten away. His skin turned the color of pus, looking less and less like the man I grew up admiring. Worse was his mind, his clear, logical thoughts poisoned by his own blood. We cared for him at home at the end. On some days he didn't know us and fell to panicked ranting. Other times he knew, but had no energy to do more than watch blankly as we fed or bathed him. In one of his last lucid moments, he asked me to make sure he was clean-shaven. He died that night. Afterwards, I tried to shave him. It felt wrong. I had only ever shaved my own face, so everything was backwards. My hands felt clumsy, and my mind was unfocused. I couldn't connect the father I loved, the man I learned from, with the empty waxen figure in front of me. His skin was not cold, but it did not feel alive. My father was gone, but I was touching his cheek. I was distracted, and my hand, the razor, slipped. It was a shallow cut near the jaw, but it drew blood. It shone at me on the razor, and I stared at it. Bright blood from my father's dead body, his carcass, and I thought of butchery and felt nauseous and dropped the razor. I could not pick it up again. Is that story too personal? I think it's important to illustrate another difficult truth. Every member of the Foundation has a life, a family, even the 05 Council. Only human is a phrase that takes on additional baggage here. But we are human, and the 05 have spent our careers making human decisions, compromises, and sometimes mistakes. If you can accept that truth, these documents will help you understand why we abandoned the principles on which the Foundation was built. A letter and a photograph. Letter recovered from the belongings of Nikola Tesla. My dear sir, Roentgen may have intimidated to you the interests of our little fraternity. They are diverse yet specialized in particular. Some might say idiosyncratic, and hopefully he has commended to you the benefits which our enterprise may entail upon your own. Indeed, it could hardly be expected that your research should not be the subject of our attention, given both its myriad applications and, if you will forgive me for so suggesting, its flowering outside the walls of the garden of common thought. It is these very characteristics which have given me the hope that we may discover in your esteemed self a fellow adherent to our developing creed. What creed, you may ask? Merely this, that the present century is one of science, as the 18th was of philosophy and the 19th of commerce. Science can prevent the perils of the past and may offer a resolution to the mysteries of the ages. Our circle of scholars is dedicated to the advancement of scientific knowledge, challenging the boundaries of what is known and investigating the unknown. Our discourse is conducted by correspondence and, where circumstances permit, in person in Europe and the United States. Having been forced by circumstance to meet less frequently in recent years, we are eager to reestablish our bonds and to welcome such new minds to our table as your own. As such, I am pleased to extend to you our most cordial invitation to a gathering at Keen's Chop House for luncheon on November 18th. Cocktails will be served at midday sharp. Naturally, our meetings are conducted with discretion, so you will understand that no formal reply is required to this missive. Please carry it upon yourself when attending on the 18th. It shall be your admission. In hopeful anticipation of your presence, yours faithfully. Signature unidentified. Foundation documents 1922 to 1929. Index cards. Foundation files. Date, the 12th of April, 1922. Item number 006, explained. Object class, Nepenthe. Security procedures. The effective item 006 has been determined to the satisfaction of the research team and the council, and the experimental results are considered reproducible. It has therefore been reclassified as an explained item, as item 006 is considered beneficial to mankind. Foundation research results are to be submitted using pseudonyms to scientific journals, with the various products of item 006 to be posited as having separate sources. Access to item 006 is to be preserved by any means possible. Description. Item 006 is an artisan aquifer located in the Kalmyk territory west of the Volga Delta. Historically, the site of a local shrine currently to the Virgin Mary. The waters are revered by the local populace as producing miracle cures and long life. Foundation research has determined that the liquid, otherwise composed of unremarkable mineral water, contains several heretofore unknown chemical compounds. Each of these substances has a distinct antimicrobial effect, preventing the contagion and symptoms of diphtheria, whooping cough, tuberculosis, and tetanus, respectively. In clinical trials, date 8th of August 1927, item number 009, explained. Object class, Nepenthe. Security procedures. Item 009 has been studied and classified as explained under Protocol EX-1C to avoid unnecessary attention on Foundation researchers, operator, and the broader scientific community. Item 009 is to be introduced discreetly into mainstream scientific research unconnected with the Foundation, in such as a way to ensure that its benefits are recognized. Description. Item 009 is an anomalous fungal species of the genus Penicillium, which, when grown under stress conditions, produces a secondary metabolite with bactericidal effects on gram-positive bacteria. Item 009 was discovered by Foundation researchers in footnotes. 1. Similar letters, referring to several meetings, have been recovered by the Foundation from the possessions of Jacques Loeb, Albert Huston, Harry Houdini, Ronald Fisher, and Marie Curie. An O5 Council Proposal. Proposal to O5 Council, 23rd of December, 1941. Proposal made by O5-1. Whereas the course of the war in Europe has emphasized both the urgent need for the Foundation's research and the risks to the O5 Council in supervising that research and in maintaining more than 150 anomalies currently in containment. And whereas the attack by the Imperial Navy of Japan on the U.S. Naval Base at Pearl Harbor and the contemporaneous strike by the Ijamia on the Foundation Laboratory in Oahu, which resulted in the tragic deaths of 37 Foundation personnel, including O5-4. And whereas the members of this council desire to remain in close contact with the staff and research of the Foundation and have rejected a prior proposal to withdraw to a secure facility where their safety can be more readily ensured, it is proposed that a new mobile task force is formed with the purpose of the security and protection of each member of this council. The proposed designation for the MTF is Alpha-1. Its membership will be selected from existing MTF members on the basis of competence and loyalty, and its composition and existence will be kept secret from the remainder of the Foundation. The proposed commanding officer for the MTF is Major Raymond Lewis, currently of MTF Epsilon 11. For further details, please see Apprentices A through H, enclosed. In favor, 10. Against, 2. Vote carried. Incomplete Medical Records, 1947. Medical Records Site 19, Project Amrita. The following medical charts represent the only records that remain from what is thought to have been more than 200 human trials involving variants of RS Amrita. All other written material in relation to the project was lost or destroyed. The remaining records are presented in chronological order. Subject number 139, name Stephen Moore. Administered RS Amrita, A16 standard dosage. Delivery intravenous. Action anti-apoptotic. Time elapsed 174 days. Observations: skin samples indicate thickening of cell membranes and accelerated production of corneocytes. Keratin filament network appears to be based on a recombinant keratin variant with increased strength and resilience and reduced elasticity. Rate of desquamation reduced to 20% of normal levels. Subject number 188. Name Susan Parker. Time elapsed 235 days. Observations: metabolism has decreased to extremely low levels. Red blood cells exhibit greatly increased oxygen storage capacity, resulting in slower blood flow and increased muscle endurance. Subject number 127. Name Michael Taubman. Time elapsed 282 days. Observations: genetic sequencing shows evidence of reduction in telomere shortening. No observable symptoms or health benefits. Subject reports RS Amrita tastes like blood. Subject number 85. Name illegible. Time elapsed 301 days. Observations: subject rendered spontaneously immobile and non-responsive. No observable respiration or heart rate. Body unable to be moved or manipulated. Cause unclear. Subject number 71. Name Captain Raymond Lewis. Administered RS Amrita B21 standard dosage. Delivery intravenous. Action paper torn. Time elapsed 370 days. Observations: subject's health remains stable. Blood results clear. Subject reports increased alertness, vigor, and sense of well-being. Abnormal bone growth in mandible, maxillary, and zygomatic regions appears to have been stabilized and remains typical for B21 patients. Subject reports no major discomfort. Results of physical testing are attached. Foundation Bulletins. Foundation Bulletin, 19th of December, 1947. All Site Bulletin Code Orange. SCP-047 reported stolen from Biohazard Lab 047-B. Security recordings indicate 2 thieves using anomalous methods of ingress. Suspected involvement of GOI-19, Serpent's Hand. MTF Beta 7 recovered SCP-047 at 0450, 20 kilometers from site. Apparently discarded. Thieves not apprehended. All sites to conduct a containment audit as Class 3 priority. 05 Bulletin, 20th of March, 1948. 05 Alert, Code Orange. Attempted kidnapping of 054 by unknown assailants. Attack occurred during travel to Site 04. Diversionary assault on vehicle convoy with secondary force in ambush on 054's evacuation route. 3 hostiles KIA by LT Perkins, MTF Alpha 1. 2 Foundation wounded, 054 unharmed. MTF Alpha 1 presence to be increased on 05 travel. Emergency rendezvous procedures to be revised. Foundation Bulletin, 6th of April, 1948. All Site Alert, Code Red. Site 19 attacked by armed hostiles, conventional and anomalous weaponry. Presumed agents of GOI-004, Church of the Broken God. Purpose of attack, unknown. 12 hostiles KIA, 4 hostiles retreated, 9 Foundation casualties, all anomalies accounted for. All sites to increase threat level to Gamma until further notice. Foundation Bulletin, 12th of November 1948. 05 Alert, Code Black, all sites. 05 Security Validation, X-Ray, Kilo, 78, Tower, Harpsichord, Daybreak, 496. Ongoing attack, multiple sites, unknown hostiles, unknown targets, multiple containment failures, Foundation casualties severe, all MTF units responding, secure communications channels compromised, contingency Rook operational. Verified site status reports follow. Site 120, no communications established. Site 73, 4 hostiles confirmed KIA, site secure. Site 50, no communications established. Site 34, hostiles escaped. Site Director KIA. Site 23. Site Command under hostile control. Site 19. Attack ongoing. Conflicting reports. Site 17. All power lost. Site-wide containment breach. Site 13. Contact lost. A message from 051. 12th of November 1948 almost destroyed the Foundation. Raymond Lewis and his accomplices escaped, retrieving a number of anomalies involved in the production of RS Amrita and damaging or causing containment breaches across multiple sites. These insurgents have never been captured and have been in near constant conflict with the Foundation. It is unclear whether they still pursue the creation of Amrita and whether Lewis himself remains alive. At the time, the remnants of the Foundation were left rudderless, their guiding purpose shattered. Yet out of that chaos a new Foundation was built. The surviving 05 Council laid down the principles to ensure that, while future adversity is inevitable, we would not repeat the failures of the past. We would make sure to remember our mistakes, to remember that we are human. With your new clearance, reading this file, you are part of that remembrance. You can know that your every step brings you closer to that final wall, and you can travel boldly onwards. You can protect life without fearing what comes after. And you will have access to files under a new object class. A class created to remind the Foundation of its past arrogance and overreaching. A class that recognizes our struggle in the shadows and that represents our role as adversary to those that seek eternity. A way to acknowledge that we cannot shut death in a box. SCP-001, Object Class, Thaumiel, is the box. Pray that it holds.